How's it going, Central? Welcome to another day of 555 as a part of our 21 days of prayer and fasting. Hope you've been enjoying this journey so far, and we're going to continue with it. And today I want to read a quick passage from one of my favorite stories found in John chapter 15. But I think it's cool to kind of understand a little bit of context to it. So the first 12 chapters or so of John is very Jesus-focused externally. So he's talking to people, like basically meeting strangers, doing miracles, teaching, basically strangers. And then in John chapter 13, he kind of shifts his focus to talking to his disciples, the people that are closest to him. And John 15 gives us this, where Jesus is talking to his disciples, and he tells them this in John 15, Verse 4, he says, "Remain in me and I in you, just as a branch is unable to produce fruit by itself unless it remains on the vine, neither can you unless you remain in me." I think what's really cool about 21 days of prayer and fasting, and as we go to 5 minutes of worship, 5 minutes of prayer, and then 5 minutes of the Word, I think it's really cool to set up these habits to where we basically remain in God. And Scripture tells us that Jesus is the Word. And as we stay in the Word, as we remain in Him, as Jesus says, we find ourselves producing fruit because we stay close to Jesus. And I think something that could be a bit of a challenge for you guys as we continue in this 21 days of prayer and fasting, that maybe you would set up some habits and some things in your life every single day to stay consistently in Scripture. Something that I'm doing this year is I'm reading the whole Bible all the way through. It just takes about 3 chapters a day, but I'm also reading the New Testament all the way through, which is just 1 chapter a day. If you take 1 chapter a day, 260 days, just less than a year, you can read the entirety of the New Testament, and I think so much more about it is that there's a consistency, there's a habit to be near to Jesus, to keep Jesus on your mind, to be aware of what He's doing, and you end up producing fruit, as Scripture says, and we know fruit from Galatians, the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, goodness, and self-control. And I know all of us, at some point in our life, we all look at our lives and go, yeah, I could use a little bit more love, I could use a little bit more self-control, I could use a little bit of more patience in my life, whatever it may be. And as we stay close to Jesus, we stay in the Word, we find ourselves producing fruit just as Jesus promised, that we stay close to Him, we walk with Him, and we look more like Jesus each and every day. So thank you so much for being part of today's 555. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.